Hi guys, thank you for your efforts in making these movies. I've enjoyed watching them. Please watch this for your makeup class, and I will hopefully see you all next semester. If you can, place some comments in the YouTube comments section, and thank you all for listening to this video.
The movie begins when Greta, a young singer-songwriter, visits New York for the first time with Dave, her boyfriend and musical partner. Dave became a star singer, but as his mind changes, Greta became frustrated. However, Dan, a music business executive, was fired at the music producing company that he made because of his poor performance. Then he heard Greta's song accidentally. Suddenly, these two musicians, lost in big city, organize a band. Begin Again is a comedy, drama, and music movie. Even if it is not as dramatic as La La Land, we feel like we are watching a musical because of the touching music that the characters made and their sincere attitude about music. Each of the characters are full of stories, and these stories are full of emotion. The characters produce emotional music with these stories, and they share the emotion with other characters and even with audiences through music. When I saw Begin Again for the first time, I got the musical emotion through this movie and characters. As I was shocked by the way they sympathized, I joined the band and enjoyed music with people from middle school to university. Now Begin Again became my most favorite movie, and I came to love music.
It is now 5:24 in the morning. I am in front of the theater of Jungle University. And now I'm going to talk about my favorite movie. I've been thinking about my favorite movie, and I've come to the realization that I haven't really ever given it much thought, ever. Because the thing with favorite movies is that you like a movie. You know you like a movie more than other movies, but you don't really know why you like a movie. I've decided that I have a lot of favorite movies, and I'm going to talk about 3 of them. The second on my list would be Notting Hill. It stars Hugh Grant and Julia Roberts, and it's a British romantic comedy, and I think I like those the best. It's about a shy bookstore owner, and he happens to meet a famous celebrity, and they fall in love despite their differences. It's a very simple story. The acting and the dialogue, it's also clever, it's very cute. It's my favorite romantic comedy of all time. So my top favorite movie is The Fight Club. It is a film directed by David Fincher, who is one of my favorite directors, and it stars Edward Norton and Brad Pitt, and Edward Norton happens to be my favorite actor. I can't really describe Fight Club. It's a very nuanced film. It's about a guy, the narrator, and I tried to dress like him today. He meets Tyler Durden on an airplane, and Tyler is everything that the narrator wants to be. He is very open with his emotions. He knows what he wants. He knows how to get it. And they start a fight club together. Throughout the whole country, it becomes a phenomena of some sort. And they try to stick it to the man. They become more than a fight club. They start to make their own rules, bring their own morals into it. It ends with complete destruction of modern systems. I can't really describe why I like it. The artistic direction is beautiful. The acting is amazing. The movie is about, I think, what I took from it is owning up to your desires. Because people try to suppress their desires, usually. And that's actually suppressing yourself. But if you're true to yourself and your desires, however raw and sexual and violent it may be, you truly come to terms with yourself. Okay, so those were my 3 favorite movies. I don't really know what these 3 movies say about me, but that's it.
Hi, I will introduce my 2 favorite movies today, which are Interstellar and The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. Let's get started. First, Interstellar. Interstellar might be one of the most famous movies about space, directed by Christopher Nolan, who is well known for other movies such as Inception and Dark Knight, and starring Matthew McConaughey and Anne Hathaway. Interstellar won the Oscar for Best Achievement in Visual Effect in 2015. Including this Oscar, Interstellar won 44 awards and received 145 nominations in the same year. The story is about a team of explorers who travel through a wormhole in space in an attempt to ensure humanity's survival. In spite of its 3 hours running time, there was no time to be bored. I've had a huge interest in space since I was a kid. That might be the reason why this movie interested me a lot, and I went to the cinema 4 times just to watch it. I was impressed that Kip Thorne, winner of Nobel Prize in Physics, had given consultation for the movie, and he said that he could have written at least 2 thesis papers based on simulations for this movie. Interstellar made me even more interested in space. So for my SAT, I chose Earth Science, which includes space science. My favorite book, Pale Blue Dot, is also about space, and I joined an astronomy club too. Second, The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. This movie is directed by Ken Kwapis and stars Amber Tamblyn, Alexis Bledel, America Ferrera, and Blake Lively. The movie is based on the young adult book The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants by Anne Brashers. As 4 best friends spend their first summer apart from one another, they share a magical pair of jeans. Despite being of various shapes and sizes, each one of them fits perfectly into the pants. To keep in touch, they pass these pants to each other and share the adventures they are going through while apart. I watched this movie in my final year of high school. Before seeing it, I had weird feelings about graduation because I knew I wouldn't be as close with my friends as in high school after graduation. But this movie made me feel better and it was touching, so it became one of my favorite movies too. I even keep a DVD for this movie. So these are my favorite movies and thanks for watching.
Do you know why am I always eating chickens? Cause my sister, Cheryl, ever stressed overworked mom, cooks chickens all the time. Only chicken. Oh, I'm Frank. Tell you something about me? Let me see. First, I'm homosexual and an expert in Proust, really famous, and I tried to commit suicide when I was dumped by my boyfriend and my great competitor recognized as #1 in the field of Proust. So I'm temporarily living at home with Cheryl's family. Cheryl? What? Oh, I'm late because I had to bring my family photo. Oh, hi, I'm Cheryl. I'll show you the photo we take in California. These are my family. Frank, me, my husband Richard, my son Dwayne, my daughter Olive, and my father-in-law. Richard is very winning obsessed and he sells his book about success theory as his own, but actually he failed. And my son Dwayne is an introvert teenager and followed Nietzsche and aimed to be a pilot. But now he realized that he's colorblind so can't be a pilot. And my 7-year-old daughter Olive dreamed to win in the beauty pageant because she admired beauty pageant winner in TV. And my father-in-law always took drugs in porn magazines. Now he's not alive. He died from heroin overdose. My family traveled to California where Little Miss Sunshine was held. Little Miss Sunshine is a beauty pageant among young girls. Olive learned she had qualified for the Little Miss Sunshine, so Olive wanted to participate in Little Miss Sunshine earnestly. So all family members traveled to Redondo Beach, California, with this worn-out yellow bus. However, the way to go there was not well organized, like my family. We only went down an unpaved road and it indicated our journey rough and not smooth. A lot of problems occurs on that way like this. Sadly, we also realized that Richard became bankrupt, and even my father-in-law died on the way to go there. Also, Olive totally ruined her talent show because she showed street dance on the stage. Olive felt disappointment, but we supported her. Hi, me again. In the journey, we could feel a lot of family love. Richard and Cheryl always supported their children even though their wishes unreal or irrational. They never stop supporting them even though their own circumstances are bad. Although we suffered gloomy situations during the trip, our constant humorous talking and jokes made trip's atmosphere bright and warm. If you want to know more about our unique, hilarious story, watch the movie About Us. Bye!
Hello, this is Stanley Ipkiss from the movie The Mask, directed by Chuck Russell in 1994. Stanley used to be a typical bank worker, but his life turned upside down when he found this mysterious mask. To be specific, the law of physics cannot affect Stanley when he's wearing this mask. He can transform his body parts and become a cartoon-like character. Stanley uses this power to take revenge on the people who used to bully him, but he is not the villain of the story. The real villain is a mobster called Tyrell. Tyrell is portrayed as a very violent character who commits a lot of crimes. He forces Tina, a beautiful woman who Stanley has fallen in love with, to help him rob a bank. As a result, Stanley decides to stand up against Tyrell in order to save Tina. During his fight with Tyrell, Stanley loses his mask and he feels devastated. He fears that Tina will no longer love him if he doesn't have the powers of the mask. However, Tina tells him that Stanley doesn't need the mask to be special to her. Tina thanks Stanley for showing her sincere kindness and true affection that she has never seen before. It seems like the story should come to a happy ending at this point, but the villain Tyrell is still planning something terrible for the couple. If you want to know more, please watch the movie The Mask 1994.
Hello, I'm Sarang, and it's so nice to have a chance to make our own video for this class English through film. Our team name is Popcorn, and we're going to introduce you our favorite movies today. And sorry for using this emoji instead of my real face. Then let's get started. We have so many choices throughout our lives, from deciding which kind of coffee to drink, to whether to drop a class or not. Life is full of big and small choices, and you may have felt the pressure of making decisions once in a while. But what if someone decides your most important choices in life instead of you? Today, I want to introduce you the movie Black Mirror Bandersnatch. This Netflix original movie is mainly about the freaky game developer Stephen Struggle. He tries to create a perfect video game, Bandersnatch, based on a book with the same name. The movie is also revealing his dark past and bunch of mysteries around him. This movie's biggest feature is in its form. It's called interactive film. Rather than explaining it, I'll just show you some instances.
How about you decide what you want for your breakfast? We'll soon a bit kiddie wink to me, but he will insist.
Did you make your own choice? Due to lack of system and my poor editing skill, you cannot really choose one from this video, sadly. But in the Netflix website or application, you can actually pick one of the options in 10 seconds and the story will follow your choice. From choosing which cereal to eat to deciding to kill somebody, you can change the Stephen's life by simple clicks. This movie's plot itself is surely attractive, but I'm convinced that this interactive form made it much more interesting. I hope you're interested in the Black Mirror Bandersnatch after watching this, and if you are, please try it. I think it's worth paying for Netflix. And sadly, it's time for the next one. But don't be disappointed. You'll be introduced to a great musical movie that you'll love too. Thanks.
Hi, I am Unso. I'm going to introduce my favorite movie, The Greatest Showman. The movie is the musical film released in 2017. It's an American movie directed by Michael Gracie. This story is inspired by Barnum, the real person. Barnum, the source of inspiration for this movie, is the founder of show business and the man who fascinated the world with the stage. Before the movie was released, I was even more excited about the fact that the production crew of The Beauty and the Beast and the songwriting team of La La Land joined them. First, Let's take a look at some of the most famous scenes from The Great Showman. The reason why I chose this as my favorite movie is because of its rich image and moving story composition. I was very impressed by this movie. This movie has a big message. We are all special. There are racial minorities, and the movie is a big wake-up call to the audience. They are putting together a circus group of people who are discriminated against in society. I was so impressed by the people who were healing their wounded self-esteem and moving forward with confidence. And I think it's a great movie that teaches a lot of love and discrimination and self-esteem. If you haven't seen this movie yet, I hope you watch it. Next, Myungwon will introduce another music movie. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Myungwon Kang. Did you enjoy our Dongguk festival on last week? I really enjoyed the festival with music too. Furthermore, I even went to Rock Festival in Han River. The reason why I am stuck on rock music is that my favorite Korean rock band Punk's plays fabulous music. They especially covered many Queen songs. So I want to introduce my favorite movie Bohemian Rhapsody to you, which has the stories of band Queen. As you know, Bohemian Rhapsody was popular last year and it won 3 Oscars. Why did it so well? I think it is because the movie paid careful attention to the vivid reappearance of members and details of Live Aid concert. In addition, there is no time to board because of the background songs such as Somebody to Love and I Want to Break Free. Rami Malek, who won the Best Actor of Oscar, acted delicately as Freddie Mercury. His acting made audience immersed in the movie. I felt that Freddie was alive and sang in reality. I was so impressed as for the big fan of band music. It was the first time that I watched the same movie twice in the theater. If you haven't watched Bohemian Rhapsody yet, I highly recommend you. Even if you don't know Queen, your body might react first. Sojang is next turn to introduce her favorite movie to you. Thank you for watching.
Thank you, Myungwon. Hello everyone, I'm Sojang. I will introduce the movie 10 Things I Hate About You. 10 Things I Hate About You is an American teen movie released in 1999. It's been quite a while, but still many people are choosing to be the best of teen movies. It won CFCA Award and MTV Movie Award in 2000. It is a romance comedy movie and directed by Gail Jungle. There are many main actors in this movie. The main actors are Julia Stiles, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Heath Ledger, Larissa Oleynik, Larry Miller, Andrew Keegan, David Krumholtz, Susan May Platt, Daryl Mitchell, and Alice Janney. Then I tell you the plot of the movie. Bianca, a popular schoolgirl, has never been on a date because of her conservative father. That's because they banned dating until they graduate from high school. But recently, that changes the rules so that when Katarina goes on a date, Bianca can go on a date too. This is a story that happens when Cameron, who liked Bianca, starts looking for someone to date Katarina to date Bianca. The best scene is a scene where Patrick sings "Can't Take My Eyes Off You." And Katarina recites her poems. If you want to see a fast love story, I recommend watching this movie. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Youngho. I'm gonna introduce you my favorite movie, Frozen. Frozen is the animation movie about princess sisters whose elder sister has a magical power. I recommend this movie because of these reasons. At first, it has great soundtracks. Maybe nobody don't know the song Let It Go. And there are other musical style movies like Love is an Open Door and Do You Wanna Build a Snowman? These songs are so sweet and good. Second, it shows the love and friendship between sisters. So we can think the love between our brothers and our sisters and other families. Third, the movie has really beautiful landscape. Mountain covered with ice and snow, frozen lake, crystallized castle built with ice is really glittery and beautiful. Last, the sub-characters are really attractive. Sub-characters who helps Elsa and Anna are so cute and funny, like Olaf the snowman and Sven the reindeer. They appear everywhere in the movie, solving problems unimaginable and make viewers laughing. For me, Frozen is the best movie I've ever seen. Thank you!
Oh, hi! My favorite movie is High School Musical. First of all, this movie's introduction, development, turn, and conclusion are well organized. For example, from the first meeting of Troy and Gabriella to Gabriella's transferring to new school are so natural. Then Troy and Gabriella had some problems with Sharpay, so their problems developed a lot. However, at the end, Sharpay sincerely apologized to them. Then their relationship got better and she supported them. You can see the four steps and composition of this movie is well organized. Also, as a student of College of Education, I think the school structure is very ideal in this movie. For example, the school's activities and clubs are well organized, and there are some worries and romance of high school students. Plus, students solve their problems proactively. Thus, this movie makes me miss my high school moments and gives some good reasons and examples that how to manage students at school. Moreover, the characters' individualities are so multiple. That means students are very talented in many parts like singing, dancing, and composing. and they are faithful to their own duties like science and sports. Lastly, High School Musical made sequels, and the OST, What Time Is It?, ran the first class on Billboard chart. Can you realize the boom of High School Musical? High School Musical is the best.
Hi, I'm Mingyong. My favorite movies are mostly musical movies such as Again Again, La La Land, Sound of Music, and many else. But if I have to choose one, then I think I would choose La La Land. I think the poster did a great job on getting attention from the audience. The two main colors of the poster, which are purple and yellow, are complementary colors, so I think this really helped getting attention and interest from the audience. Also, throughout the movie, it showed really strong colors from every scene, such as concert halls with lots of strong colors, or clothes that Mia and her friends wear, or the first scene where people singing and dancing on the road. Also, La La Land is well known for their amazing soundtrack. Every song matched really well with the storyline, and the lyrics showed how each character feels. Many covered songs are uploaded on YouTube, and it's on the Billboard chart for a long time too. Lastly, I really liked the ending of this movie, which was Mia and Sebastian not getting back together. I think the story would be very obvious if Mia and Sebastian getting back together, but they actually didn't, and so I think this helped audience to have more emotional feelings.
Hello there. Hello there. Hello there. My name is Emin, and I'm going to talk about my favorite movie. I have quite a few favorite movies, but after much considerations, one film in particular kept popping up in my mind, and I believe it is definitely worth the mention. It is a 2018 computer animated superhero film, and it's called, drumrolls please, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Now, you're probably gonna wonder, what makes this film so special? Well, first of all, I personally really admire the computer animation style. It is visually stunning with the vibrant colors. While watching the movie, it was as if you're actually reading a comic book, except you're not, obviously. And in fact, the animation was done so well, it brought the comic book alive and into a film, not forget to mention. And second, the key for a good movie, besides having a good story, is having a killer soundtrack. That's something that's very important for me personally. And this film definitely has it down. The story and character development was very well written and very relatable. The diversity of characters was extraordinary by showing their strengths and weaknesses. Not to mention, the film is full of life with many emotional scenes, where one in particular was even more emotional in comparison to the others for all the Marvel comic fans. It was a dedicated scene in where they made a touching tribute to the late and great author Stan Lee. Well, that was my favorite movie. What is yours? Tell me. I mean, yeah. What do you find? What do you think it is important in a movie that need to be included for you to like it personally?
The first scene of the movie begins with Mark Ruffalo's waking up. He seemed quite a pathetic person to wake up in a small rented room, New York City, smoke and sleep again. After starting a pitiful morning, He goes to school to pick up his spoiled daughter, goes to a company meeting with her daughter, offers only bad opinions, and he is fired from the company he created. He goes to a bar with her daughter, but he doesn't have any money, so he gets beaten by the bar boss, and when he goes wife's house, he gets into a quarrel with her wife about her daughter. Mark Ruffalo, who has only had bad luck all day, enters a bar taking a leaf out of a man's ear on the subway, telling him to believe in Jesus, and accidentally listen to the Nightly song. He recommended her to debut as a singer, but she refused. Ruffalo waited outside the bar for Nightly to talk about his past.
After Greta met Dan, the second scene is Greta and her ex-boyfriend Dave. They were a sweet couple, have the same hobbies, and moved to New York together, made their music dream come true. Greta writes songs for him, accompanied him every day to trying to be considerate and thoughtful, but gradually Dave is absorbed in his career and cheated during a business trip. I thought a very interesting part in this scene is that when Dave finished his business trip and showing his new song to Greta, Greta's face changed from delight to unbelievable and angry. They even didn't speak anything to each other, something just expressed by the music. They were fall in love because of music, conveying their feelings through the music, and eventually to break up because of music.
But some people get the courage to pursue their dreams after losing love. Greta and Dan seek help from Dan's former partner, but they are refused. More and more bold musicians are found by Dan. There is a crazy plan that they don't need a studio, because New York City is their living house. They begin to record albums outside, and every song they do in different locations. Enjoying what you do is not easy for adults, let alone pursuing what you really want to do. We get used to making compromises with life. During recording this album, Dan repaired a relationship with his daughter and wife. Greta gained friendship with Dan and threw Dave away. They say goodbye to past hurts and become better.
Greta decided to tell her ex-boyfriend that they could never go back like they used to be, but she still chose to give Dave a chance to meet. This conversation strengthens her belief in farewelling to the past. Fortunately, she is correct about her own presupposition. She did have talent in making music. The album has won many recognitions and praise. This crazy journey of chasing dreams have a perfect ending. However, it is also the time to say goodbye to the mentor, the friend, the partner, the leader, and the bellwether, Dan. At the end of the story, Greta is riding a bicycle, not famous, don't have boyfriend. She sold the album with $1. The moment of successful upload, her life was lightened up again, with a new beginning. New York is a city with numerous opportunities. It doesn't matter that how many times you've been hurt. The real important thing is whether you have confidence to begin again.
Okay, that was very, very interesting. Thank you guys for your contribution to this YouTube video. You've put in a lot of effort and I really appreciate your work. And, well, Have a great vacation, and as I said before, I hope to see you next semester.